I can just shout, Lord, please have mercy on me.
And civilian affairs got an image to maintain, public upper hand, but behind them closed doors you on the last leg. The fast lanes, the fast pace for the fast age. It's easy not to control more than
I'm waiting on you. You want to pull me.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Caught us sharing our feed, which we would like to say first. I'm Darnell.
And I am Angela.
And this is Garrison House. All right. Well, like we're sharing, we want you all to get your phones out or wherever device. Well, of course, you're on your phones. Take your device and share. If you're on YouTube, go on ahead here and share it because we're live on YouTube as well. So you jump on YouTube and you share the link and liking helps us really get into the algorithm. We want to be in that algorithm so people can see us and enjoy our podcast. We're also available on Spotify, Amazon, and Apple, so you can catch us in many different locations. So you just catch us right here on YouTube. We're there. You can catch us on Facebook. We're there. So we're also on Cloud Live, and so we're really getting things going. So one thing I need to do is my job, and that's start the timer. All right, everyone. So let's get this party started. Let's get things going here.
Yes, welcome. As you already said, we would like for you to share, tell people if you'd like to. We hope you would. Just come on in and join us. We here at Garrison House Podcast, we talk about almost everything.
Yeah, stuff we talk about in the car, and also
talk about home
and everything.
As I'm yelling at the TV, yelling at my phone, at the socials.
Yeah, yelling at the
Honey,
phone.
do you see what these people are doing?
And I could be in the middle of a movie and I have to pause. No big deal. That's your job, fellas. You got to pause the video. It don't matter.
Yes. Get
the Roku remote out. In my case, it's right here. You can't see it. I just grab it, hit pause, and listen. Sometimes I don't know what she's talking about, but she's talking about a show. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, it's this big old show out there on social. People just doing a show, showing out. Let me get rid of the reverb?
Yeah, it's kind of irritating today. I don't know why we hear so much of it. Let's see. I guess we should. Well, we hear ourselves. We can't hear each other. So, but we got this great little feedback going.
Can you hear me? I can't hear myself now.
Uh-oh, she said she can't hear herself. She should hear herself.
Can I hear myself? Now I can hear me.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to have a little bit of feedback.
Yeah, I can tell you're doing the I hear myself. And so we're gonna, while we're fixing that, she can talk about some of the new stuff she's doing.
Sure. If you were interested. So I was thinking about a lot of things that I wanted to do. And I thought, well, it might be just be too much of me. And it's really getting irritating. And so what happened was I was, and I realized, if you guys don't know Kev on stage, and he had like about 3 or 4 podcasts that he does. This is so weird. And So I was like, well, if he could do like 3 or 4 podcasts, then maybe I can do it too. So that's what I did. So I have Garrison House podcast. I have Inside the Pink Box. I had that actually first. But I haven't really done anything actively on it, but just stay tuned. I just did something, so I might do like a short for that one. And I also have it's called Angie's Drama Room, and I would he's trying to get this audio. And hold on, I'm just get it out my ear. So it's Angie's Drama Room, and what it does is that I talk about dramas I have watched, and mostly it's Asian dramas such as Korean, Chinese, Japanese dramas. If you like Asian dramas, and it's really more dramedy, rom-coms, and things of that nature, melodramas. It's not the whole fantasy dramas that you guys probably used to hear Americanized, but anyway, it's like those. And I think and I have What a Crock on Facebook, where I've been posting little reels about me cooking. So if you want to head on over to Facebook, it's called What a Crock. It's me when you see like a little celery inside of a crock pot. So that's me.
Yeah, and so she's been doing some, and it's been pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately, she took her earpiece out, so I can't whisper sweet nothings to her in her ear.
Well, I think you would probably be hitting everybody on that one, though.
Yeah, we, technology acts up every once in a while. So, but I'm used to the delay.
I feel like I was like a singer, and I had to take my little earwigs out.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we don't wear headphones. We have our little earpieces. And when they start delaying, you start going, and
it was like a feedback.
She's not used to it. It's just bouncing. It's got the little bounce back. But anyway, let's get into our program. Let's see, who do we have watching right now? Let's see what's going on. As I do several things, looking at the memories here. It's so fun, interesting here. So interesting. So yes. Let's move on to our first topic, and that's going to be, let's see here. There we go.
Philanthropy. Is that how you spell philanthropy? Philanthropy, yes.
Well, the
philanthropy.
I
know that's how you spell it, but I don't know. Anyway, so we were talking about philanthropy work, and what is really considered philanthropy work. Now, so our discussion was, if everybody, some people right now know that Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, who just, they split the thing straight down the middle. She got 50%, which still came out to a multi-billion dollars.
Yeah.
And so she said she was going to give all her money away. Well, I don't know all of it, but I don't think you can give all your money away though.
You can't.
She already gave over $450 million, I believe, to certain causes. Now, for me, I don't necessarily would call that a philanthropy work. They calling her a philanthropist. I really wouldn't think that. To me, this is my opinion. Now, I don't think that's really. It's just you're just giving out money. Now, philanthropy work to me is that not only are you giving out money, you're putting your money where your mouth is, as they say, that you're actually working, that you're actually out there. So if you were going to give money to PETA, then you're out there also protesting with PETA. If you're going to give money to the climate, you're out there also working to, you're out there also stating your facts about the climate. If you're giving money to the homeless, the poor, to shelters, well, you don't necessarily have to go there, but yet you show up and actually try to help.
Or you
serve there, So that to me is where philanthropy work comes. That's what I call philanthropy work. Anybody can give out money. People usually just give out money to these causes just so that way they can get a tax break. So it's just because you're giving out money does not necessarily that's me. Now, for the true definition of philanthropy, Let's see. Got something to say about that, honey? What you're
Yeah,
saying?
well, some people don't get. Well, I mean, they get it. Well, I know somebody who gives money and they don't do. Okay, that's different. They're donating, and then people say, "Well, what about the philanthropists who give to political? You don't get a tax deduction, so you just gave them money." So there's so many things when it comes to philanthropy. I believe that you can be a philanthropist, but you're serving people in some way. Like Angie said, you're actually going there, or you have a representative that's working in the program. So something that shows that you're giving money.
So they said, now, I guess maybe I was wrong. This is a meaning that the dictionary said, Oxford Language Dictionary said about philanthropy. The desire to promote the welfare of others, expressed especially by the generous donation of money to good causes. And then they left the text. He acquired a considerable fortune and was noted for his philanthropy.
Right.
Well, then again, it just says that he had a considerable fortune and he was noted for his philanthropy because he was giving out money. A philanthropist institution, a charity is a charity. Well, philanthropy was incorporated to help the others obtain benefits like person. So it's. I mean, I guess it is about giving out money, but to me, I don't know. It just seems like you have to.
It should be more to it,
right? You just have to. I mean,
it should be more.
Anybody can give out money, but you may not be able to give out that much, $450 million. But anybody can give out money, really.
Right. Yeah, it should be more to it.
Is it a certain amount of money you have to give out?
I mean, we know personally philanthropists, so we understand it. So don't get it wrong. We do understand philanthropists because we know a philanthropist, and they are actually assembled teams. They assemble the people to make the money work. It's not just in this situation. They're not just giving the money and say, okay, do what you want. They're giving the money and working in the project. So I think that's why our view of philanthropy might be slightly different, because we see a philanthropist who actually takes the money and they actually have people representing and making sure the money is properly spent and it's going in the right direction. And they're making sure that some programs that philanthropists give money to, 20, 30, I'm not sure what the percentage actually goes to the program. You have these high administrative
Well, that's
fees.
Charity work.
Right,
that's not necessarily philanthropy. Philanthropy, it's more, philanthropy more or less gives their own money or fortune to causes, not necessarily charity. There's a difference between causes and charity.
True.
I'm going to say it. Now, it's almost, now, at what point, because, people have these foundations, that's charity. So you're giving money to these foundations. Now, that won't be necessarily considered philanthropy work. It's more about just a tax bracket to me. And what happens is with some charities, it's 90% admin fee.
Right.
So, and then 10% technically goes to the charity itself. So, when you're talking about giving to charity, you got to make sure that you're giving it directly to the organization and not necessarily funneling it through a foundation. All foundations right now, I think, now maybe I'm wrong, somebody might say something differently, but to me, foundations are more of just a tax bracket. I mean, the Clinton Foundation, the Clooney Foundation,
the Bush Foundation,
the Bush Foundation,
Obama
Foundation. I mean, they have to funnel that money somewhere. I'm sorry, but
that's on the political landscape.
Everybody has a foundation somewhere down the line, and if George Clooney said he is not an elite, Hollywood elite, but yeah, he sat there and had this whole gala ball at a foundation gala ball for his foundation, and I wasn't invited.
I didn't get my ticket.
And
I won't say anything on the politics side because something was posted about where black broadcasters supposed to had all these media buys. I'm a black broadcaster, and I also oversee a couple black.
I guess we're supposed to go out there with a handout.
and the 3 that I have direct work with, mine and 2 others, we didn't receive a nickel. But we won't talk about that as a black broadcaster. For those who don't know, I am a black broadcaster.
Few, I suppose. It's a selected few.
It's just a selected elite few, I guess. I guess because I haven't pledged my allegiance to any particular person.
I pledge my allegiance to Jesus Christ.
That's who we pledge our allegiance to. We're not into this crazy. We won't talk about the politics side because it's kind of, I know we've talked about it. We're on the philanthropy part, but I always say this on the sidebar. A lot of this stuff is worship, idol worship, worshiping a man. I don't worship either one of them. I don't disrespect either one of them. So for me, I see it as a lot of worshiping of a particular person and or a particular ideology. And I just sit back and go, okay, well, I'm just going to watch this. But anyway, let's pivot back to the philanthropy, unless we're done with that.
I see we have Terrell.
Oh, my nephew. Mm-hmm. Yes, nephew. We'll be together next week. Next weekend. It's a celebration of life. So we'll see each other next Saturday at his grandmother's service. So glad to see you on homegoing service. Yes, Rosetta was a cook. That mama could cook.
Yes. Yeah. So that's my take on it. What is your take about philanthropy? Do you think if you've given a ton of money or more so your fortune to, I guess they're saying if you give most of your fortune, that's considered philanthropy. But if that's considered philanthropy, or do you think the person should also give and work or do something within the organization that they're giving money to? Just let us know.
Yeah, well, we should do a poll on that. We did one on our Spotify site. However, they didn't post the poll. So we're going to start generating some polls. You saw the poll?
Yeah, I saw the poll.
I didn't see the poll.
I saw the poll.
Oh, okay. Well, on Spotify, we have polls. And so if go to Garrison House on Spotify and take the polls. We're going to leave the polls there. It will throw some up possibly.
And I would like to say thank you for everybody who happens to jump on. I don't know, I don't have the analytics or whatever, but Darnell was saying that people are on Spotify and listening to us.
Yes.
So if you're on Spotify and you're listening to us, thank you. Just keep on joining us. We are on every 2 weeks.
Yes. Well, every 2 weeks, but in the case of a fifth Sunday, it'll be usually 2 weeks in a row.
The first and the third Sunday of every month.
And it's always the first and third. No. But if it's a fifth, it's going to be fifth, first, and third. Right. So
thank you. And everybody who's watching us on the other socials, we just appreciate you. Just like people, just drop us a comment. Say hello.
Yes, say hello.
Thank you.
Because she's been busy, and I got some things coming up. We'll talk about that at the end. Let's jump on to our next one. Yes. Part 2 of the church's role, which is the poll that's in there.
Right. We talked about part 1 is it the church's job to go beyond the Bible? You're talking about philanthropy. Is it the church's job to feed to give? Technically, it was God said, feed the hungry, feed the poor. Yeah, so that's biblical. So it is within the Word of God. But I'm saying maybe is the church's job to talk about other things. Some people are always thinking that the black church is about the community, and it's not necessarily about the community. You got to remember the first thing about God, about us as Christians, is to teach us the Word of God. Everything else is just works, our good works. So that's what I was saying. The church's role. What is the church's role? I know we have been talking in our ministry about health, finances, and he's giving you points about because we have a doctor, we have Dr. Beverly also, and then we also have a financial, not financial advisor, but a financial accountant who does a lot of the finances, and she comes in and talks about personal budgets and personal finances. So do you think that it should go beyond just talking about the Word of God? Should it be beyond that? Should it be more concerning health and finances? Okay, we talk about it, but still, I'm just asking for your opinion. What do you think?
Well,
what do you think the church? What do you think the church's role is supposed to be? Really, are we supposed to help the community, and that's all? Or people criticize the mega. I don't like the word mega church, but anyway, people criticize the mega church that sometimes we see these big churches and all they think about is all about money. Well, how do you expect us to help the community if we don't have money?
Well, a couple of scriptures in her mic drop moment. I just pull some up. Sometimes you gotta. Though we are people of faith. Benevolence, yes. And so we can talk about that so basically, James 1:27 is a good scripture reference. Visit orphans and widows in their affliction. Keep oneself unstained from the world. That's one area. The next is Psalm 68. Father of the fatherless, protector of the widows. Okay. There is another one I saw. That was not the one I was looking for. And Deuteronomy 10:18. He executes justice for the fatherless and the widows, loves the sojourner, giving him food and clothing. So those are examples. Now, I don't have time to go to the context because I'm quite sure if I go to Deuteronomy 10:1, I can get the full context. Because I'm one of those who, I told Angie this, when I was in Baptist church back in the day, pastors, or no matter what church I would go to, and they would say one verse. I'm the one, and I was a young person going, okay, I need to see what the context of this scripture. So I would actually go and read up to one while the pastor's preaching. I'm reading the beginning to see the context. So, just read Deuteronomy 10:1 and get the context of that. So I am one who says, get the context, get the context, get the context. Now, in some of these situations, we're talking about the church role. Back in the day, I'm swinging my chair. She's hitting me, but no, it's not hitting me. Back in the day, they had this thing. I grew up Baptist. Okay, I'm just saying.
We used to have it too.
Baptist. Okay, I didn't know, but as someone who grew up Stone Baptist, black pants, white shirts, black tie. Sang in the choir, trying to sing in the choir. Grandparents, deaconess. We had something known as the benevolence offering. So it was on the envelope, and it said you had your tithes, your offering, benevolence. Benevolence, from my training, went to help take care of if someone came to the church and said, "Hey, I need some help paying my bills. Is there any way you can help?" A lot of that came out the benevolence. You have to realize that tithes, I'm trying to remember this, tithes went to take care of the church, the building, all the expenses. Offering went to the pastor, and then you had your benevolence for the people. That's from my understanding from when I was brought up. So nowadays, you don't hear benevolence because a lot of churches is place it in a general fund and just say, hey, okay, we can assist. But there's a lot of programs that's going on today that help people.
And that's what I was saying. The coming to, it's like, if everybody's running to the church saying, can you help me pay my DTE bill? That's not I believe that's not really the church's job to do it, to help you pay your electric bill. You need to find out programs and funds. You need to call DTE up yourself or whatever electrical company you have and make arrangements if you have issues.
Going back to our first topic, philanthropy. Believe it or not, a lot of the things that you struggle with paying in utilities, we had some minor struggles a few times, but we got ourselves out. However, they would say, well, we have this program that can help you when you get your bill. They actually tell you, on your bill, having problems paying your bill, we can help.
Right.
They have programs that philanthropists give to specifically assist you in paying your bills. Mm-hmm. There's situations where seniors pay reduced rates. Yes. In the winter.
And there's like a one flat rate.
Right.
I know my dad is, I don't know, he's old.
He's a senior.
He's a senior. And he's a senior. He ain't just a senior, he's a senior. And my dad, he will not turn on the heat. He will not turn on the air conditioner. He will sit there because he wants his bill at a certain amount. And that's my dad. That's how he is. He would do that. He just got over a severe cold late, and so that's him. We had to actually tell him, look, you need to turn on the heat when it's cold, because in these colder days, and you need to turn on the air conditioner when it's hot. On these hot days, because we don't want you to come to your house and you got a switch on.
And at his
age. Now, I'm talking about at his age, yes.
He needs to have that on. Unlike us, who forget to change the battery.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that was just what they said. Like last night, I'm trying to figure out why my heat is not turning on. And first thing did come to my battery, but I don't know how to change the battery. So I just went to bed, had to crawl underneath the bed, had all my clothes on. So he gets up and he fixes it. He puts the battery. It's cold in here.
Yeah, right.
So it got a little warm, so I had to kick everything off again. But so we our ages, and whoever has to pay your bill is heat. So it's cold, you turn on heat. But when it comes to seniors, they would sit there and they would have troubles. Now I know a lot of ministries will help seniors
exactly
before they will help younger people who are just squandering their money.
They won't help freshmen and sophomore and junior citizens.
Right. And now
I have this term. We're junior citizens. We're knocking on senior. Literally, we do get some senior perks at our age.
That's just perks. If we try to run to the church, almost.
No, we're junior citizens.
Okay,
you on your own, right? You on your own. Are you over 70? Because you may be on their mindset senior, but you still a junior citizen.
And I can't remember what I was gonna say.
Oh well. I forgot to. It'll come to you. So the church's role, it's
Oh, I know what I was going to say. We were talking about helping the seniors. I know our pastor, he does Miracles Live, and a senior got on the phone there. She's saying that she needed a senior needed a washer and a dryer.
He bought it.
And his family and her family wasn't helping. And so they more have with their hand out to her than they actually going to give to her to help her get a washer and dryer. And so our pastor bought her a washer and dryer.
And you know what? I know we're on church's roles.
Well, maybe
some of these things, let me just be honest, okay? Some of the things we think that's church's role is actually the children's role, especially when it comes to seniors. It's your job as a child of your parent or grandparent to make sure they have everything they need, take care of what they need. I did that. My grandfather needed a tire his last time driving. I was like, okay, Grandpa, your tire is bad. Let me go up here and buy you a tire. I went and bought him a tire, and he was cool with that. And then he had a medical situation hours later. However, I did my part. He needed his haircut. I cut his hair. It's like, hey, you're not shaving. Let me shave you down. I don't know how to do that. Shave somebody else. However, I stepped up and did it. Things around the house need to be done. Changing light bulbs, stuff that's your job to do. No, your elderly relatives should not have to sit up here and go, well, that light bulb's been out for about a month. Nobody's changing it, and you walk out the door. That's. Now, in the situation where my brother's mother passed, there's enough children and grandchildren to bury her, to take care of her funeral expenses, because she didn't have life insurance, unfortunately. However, that's something that's common. She had enough children and grandchildren to cover it. Oh, she had, it's like, I think it's 18 or 19 grandchildren. So it was not a problem. I threw in something just because it's like, hey, she was nice with me when I was growing up. She helped my mom back in the day. So, but that's our role as family. So some of the stuff we try to say, well, why the church can't pay my bill?
And the thing is, they expect you, just because you came down the aisle that Sunday morning, they came down the aisle to give your life to Christ, and then you go into the pastor's office and say, okay, I gave my life to Christ. I'm joined your ministry. Can I have some money? That ain't gonna work like that.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Come on now.
It does not work that way. You really need to.
I mean, our pastor teaches us the Word of God and stand on faith. Now, he does help single moms too. He does help a lot of people. I'm not going to say he doesn't, but our ministry does help a lot of people.
A lot of people.
A lot. I mean, he gave away a house to a single mom with children during Christmas time. We were giving out Christmas presents and things like that during that time. And so it's works. It's not necessarily a thing that will get you to heaven, your works, but it helps with your works, the works that you do that gives you to heaven. And then there's stuff that is just your reasonable service. You know, I told my daughter was like, go wash the dishes. Well, how much I get or whatever. I said that should be just your reasonable service. Hey. You know, that is what it is. Go clean your room. How much I get for cleaning my room? That's just a reasonable service.
You get free rent.
That's what she's supposed to do.
You're getting free rent.
Right.
You're getting. You know, you're not paying the electric bill, the 2 internet bills. You're not paying the cell phone bill.
But I'm just saying, in essence,
so go wash the dishes.
That is just your reasonable. That's something that you should be doing anyway. You shouldn't be asking for money for something that you should be just doing anyway.
And she tries to parent override. I'm like, what'd your mama say? So
what'd your daddy say? I'll be like, just like your daddy. Like today, she wanted. What did she want?
She wanted about your bracelet.
Oh,
she needed to bring that back. But anyway,
yeah, I had my husband bought me a bracelet for
Christmas. Birthday.
No, anniversary.
Oh yeah.
It bought me a tennis bracelet for anniversary, and she had a function she had to go to, and she wanted to wear it.
And so we let her wear it.
And it was a big function for her.
Yeah, so very big. We won't go into that because it's not to be shared. Okay.
But but yeah, I mean, some things are just work. Something that just it helps. If you go up to the kingdom, you're talking the kingdom of going up to heaven, and the Bible is open or the book is open, book of life is open, and it's like, okay, I see you got saved this day. 37 years ago. What have you done since those 37 years? How many people did you bring into the ministry? What did you do? What was your cause? What was your works? And I'm not Jesus. I'm not God. I'm not Jesus. I can't judge nobody who's going in and out of heaven.
She's talking about she's got 37 years. I'm actually coming up on my
37 years. Do I have 37 years?
I'm coming up on my 30th.
89?
Yeah, well, 34. I'm coming up on my
36.
30th. Yeah, I'm coming up on my 30th on the 16th.
So almost 37.
I've been under apostle for 30 years.
And some things when you, some people, some people are not a. What is Pastor Jones? What does he do? What does he do?
What, evangelism?
Well, yeah, but something else. Oh, anyway.
Well, let's move to our next topic.
Okay.
Well,
I was just saying some people may not be able to actually go door to door and invite people to church.
It's called evangelism.
But then there's other things that you can do that will help.
Missions and evangelism.
That can help people come, to bring people to church.
That's missions and evangelism. This is a topic that I talk about. Now, this is going to be a smidgen political. So, the state of California recently increased minimum wage for jobs that are supposed to be starters for teens, even though the governor is like, that's a myth. My first job was a part-time job at Big Lots. However, they raised the minimum wage to $20 for fast food workers. Now, any of us who are old enough know when we got a raise, everybody got a raise. And then when everybody got a raise, the prices increased to go with that raise.
It will never be enough.
Right. It's called Economics 101. I'm at that age where I remember a McDonald's hamburger was between 25 cents and 35 cents. I remember
39 cents, yeah.
Yeah, you can go to McDonald's for $1 and you got yourself a nice meal. You got yourself a hamburger, a small fry, and maybe even a small drink. You used to be able to get 10 tacos at Taco Bell for $5. But as prices
remember the $5 foot longs?
Yeah, it's no $5 foot long anymore. We went out to Culver's because what we discovered through this is that going to Burger King, not to say the food is not quality, we were paying the same amount of money for, I'm just going to say, lower quality fast food than going to Culver's. So we were spending the same exact amount of money for the same food. Now, some people say, well, that food's bad for you. Yeah, we won't go there.
Well, yes, we know.
We know. However, we spent the same amount that we would have spent at Burger King and got better quality food. You get a better menu, better everything. You can get pot roast dinners and everything at this particular restaurant versus going to Burger King. They're both fast food, except one is cooked to order, which is where we went, and one is sitting in a warmer, which is
sometimes you don't even know what you be getting when you go to these fast food restaurants. What you're getting. I mean, my daughter works for the MCD, and she's like, she don't even eat that.
She doesn't even eat that. And then even that, even though we're on unintended consequences, people are complaining about CEOs making money and MCD, as we're calling it. First of all, MCD is a real estate company. Most people don't know this. They think the golden arches that the CEO is making all this money. If you watch the movie, and it might still be on Tubi, watch the movie The Founder. You specifically, it may make you mad to see how it all came together. However, he was told that you don't want to be a restaurant company. You want to be a real estate company. So the unintended consequences is you raise rates. You expect people to pay this huge amount of money. It's crazy. $25 for a Big Mac meal.
Whenever it's just a economic thing, or it's a thing. So whenever, even if it wasn't up to $20, whenever a state raises their minimum wage, then whatever that hike was, everybody had to get that same hike.
Right.
So if you're above minimum wage, and then let's say if I don't even know what minimum wage now is anyway, but let's say if it goes up 15%, 10 or 15%, then that means that everybody across the board had to get their 10 to 15% increase in their wages. So when that happens too, then things starts to go up because they're trying to match household income, and you're never going to match household income.
No.
If you, especially, it was a TikToker who was saying that after taxes you get $3,500. Let's say you get $3,500, and he starts breaking it down to rent or your mortgage, rent or whatever, car note, car insurance, something else he put in there, and health insurance. Now I can tell you right now, if you're getting $3,500 after taxes, then you will have health insurance already within that, so you don't have to pay an extra $200. That would have been already taken care of. And then, but if you were getting $3,500 and he said like $1,500 in mortgage or rent, then you're living above that, because technically you're supposed to pay. They say in order to make sure that you're within a certain amount of frame, you are supposed to make, well, I guess it's after taxes, I suppose, I don't know, but still, if you're living beyond the amount you're supposed to be getting paid anyway, that's on you. Why? You're only getting $3,500 after taxes. Why are you going out and trying to buy a $2,000 mortgage or $2,000? Now rent, I leave that alone. So he was basically trying to say, if you go to Mexico, he was talking about going to Mexico, even though it's you may get paid less, but yet the cost is less. Well, that's because it's Mexico, and it's going to be that way because people are only getting paid so much. So you can't expect somebody to go to the market, street market, and they're selling apples for $8 a bag when the average person only makes about, bring home, I don't know, $500-$600, and that's before expense. So they're not going to make apples, $8 a bag or $5 a pound.
Well, the one thing interesting, I did some rough math. A person that works 80 hours in a 2-week period at that rate is making $1,600 per week pre-tax. So when you deduct just the basic stuff, basic deduction, let's say I use 30%, you're bringing home $1,120. Now, that's $1,120. So that's like a lot of money. No. $1,120 is still not enough if you're, because also everything raises.
In LA?
Yeah, we've been to LA. We've been to In-N-Out Burger.
And they talking about some people are complaining that their electric bill was $1,200.
Exactly. You have situations where the 1120 is basically one bill. It could be your utility, your car note. It's still unaffordable. So because everything went up. Right now, the unintended consequences is that people are complaining about car prices. They're saying, oh my goodness, I just won't buy this particular brand. I'm not paying $120,000 for a car. I was going to purchase an EV. They told us, oh, it's going to be, the vehicle was going to probably, the top price would be $60,000 for the almost top. So when they finally started manufacturing it, it turned into over $100,000. I said, I'm not paying $100,000 for a car. I'll stick with the particular brand that I'm with now because I can probably get more for my money. So as a consumer, I'm like, I'm not paying that. So what happens is when prices go up, the consumer rebels. The consumers are rebelling. And that's your unintended consequences is when no one in who makes these decisions think about what will the consumer do? What does the consumer want? They say we don't care. We're going to do what we want to do. Again, not to go political. However, you really need to take that aspect out. Now, minimum wage jobs, again, was designed for entry level. Like I said, we started in entry level jobs. So now here's the situation. Summer's coming to LA. Teens who would normally go out and get these jobs for the summer will not be able to get them. So now you have a situation where your teen worker group class can't work. What does that lead to? Them getting into trouble. No one thinks about that. They think about, well, it's not fair. Teens, these were jobs for teens. Kept them busy, had them learn work. So now we're having a whole generation that will not have any work experience because the labor cost to have them is too high. Even our daughter said something about these young people are lazy. So, and she's working.
That's my daughter saying.
And this is our daughter saying it. She's a manager at two MCDs. She even says they're lazy. So now we have a whole generation that's there for the money, not to work. The next unintended part is, like, even though my calculation says you're working 80, you're not getting 80 hours. You're going to probably get 20 hours a week, which comes to 40. That's $800 every 2 weeks. Is where before they're going to try to keep you at the same level. So as somebody who also owns a business, I had to look at my pricing structure. And I say, okay, how much am I worth? The minimum amount that I'm worth for something. Okay, so I put in, as I'm developing this new software for my business, I put in what my minimum cost is. And when the way I set up the percentages, the way it kicked it out, I was like, wow, I've been undercharging. In some situations, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been giving them the low rate. And those are some of the things that in business, when the cost goes up, we in business have to raise our prices. People get upset.
Why do you think gas, when I first got my car at 95?
95.
It was 89 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
So why do you think gas prices, I mean, and it's also supply and demand. They were talking, nowadays with groceries, you're looking at, if I had to buy, I'll go up and grab this bottle. If I bought, I do almond breeze milk, and it comes in a half-gallon jug. No, not jug, but a carton. You know, if you ever saw, you remember how. Now, so I ordered it online, Instacarted online.
It's about this size,
and it came back half that.
It went from this.
So a half gallon is 32 ounces. Wait a minute, hold on, is it 32? Okay, a gallon is 64. So I'm not quite sure. I don't even remember now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, it came back as it looked like a you know how you get not stock, chicken stock, right? Chicken stock. It comes in the same box now with the little twist up on the top. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? Is this actually? I literally had to go and double check, and sure enough, and now it looks like I feel like going up there and getting it.
Well, we don't have time right now, but
because it looks like and it's shrunk. So they're shrinking packages, but yet try to keep the prices within a certain range. So at this time, they shrunk the price, right? And I paying $1.99. I think it was even on sale for $1.99 when I can actually get the bigger one for. You used to get the bigger one for $2.99.
Yeah, inflation is real.
Right. Or now they're giving. Now they always had multiple dozens of eggs, but they're focusing on that now, and so that way they try and get you more eggs in order to charge you more than what you would do if you buy a dozen or a dozen and a half.
Right. We'll give you 2 dozen, and you'll pay
for $1 or $2 more, as opposed to if you would have bought 2 of the dozen and a half, which you would have probably paid an extra $1 or $2 than you would have done with 2 dozen or
because basically the law is called the law of unintended consequences. It's the same thing in your life. Like we said, everything here is actually kind of connecting. Philanthropy, when we did the church role, that taking care of your own, the church, you run into the church to help you out. You overspent, so now you had the unintended consequences of overspending. We've been
sometimes there. People, even some years, people are losing jobs because of certain things that the government was doing.
Right.
And if you lose your job and there was no job out there for you to get, then yes, you're going to find yourself DTE wasn't going to get paid. Car notes not going to get paid. Insurance is not going to pay, so, and mortgages and rents are not going to get paid. So yes, that does happen. That's something that is unavoidable, because if they're laying off people on your job, then there's not much you can do about that.
And getting on an employment site trying to pull teeth.
Yeah. I was transitioning from one job to the next. I got fired. That is what it was. I got fired from this job. It wasn't something I did. It was just being lied on, and people lied. Yeah. And so, and at that point, I was a profession. To me, it was a professional position I had, but it was hard to get hired in. And then, of course, some of the things were my things happened with me personally, and so and I go to get unemployment. But then they wanted you to show 3 references or 3 job offers in order for you to get unemployment, and that you actually every week. Now this is what they wanted every week. They wanted me to show 3 job
going out getting for a job,
looking for and I had to get that 3 of them every week. And it's like, that's just, for a little bit, only for about, at that time, it was like $200 a week or something. It would have been fine. It would be nice to have $200 extra a week. But, however, that's what they wanted.
30 years ago, when I had lost my job, that unemployment was easy. I just put in for it, and that check was looking nice.
Right. But
every week. But now, anyway, we are...
now this happened, about 20 years, about 15 years ago. So
let's bounce to our next final topic. We're going to make this one quick. We know the clock is telling us that we are running out of time. So let's... I guess it doesn't want to show up, so I have to come over here and... Oh, I forgot to enable it. My bad. And I wrote the software. You would think that I would know what I'm doing. All right, so we're going to make this one really quick. Tomorrow, if you're listening to this on the 7th, is the eclipse. And I'm going to be chasing it. I have a project that came up that's going to sort of make me really get to my location relatively quick. However, hopefully I can bring back some footage from it. So we will be doing the eclipse, and there's a lot of symbolism going on with this. A lot of people are, there's a lot of prophecies going on. Mm-hmm. I really don't read it. I just go, okay. All right, this eclipse happens every so many years. This particular one is a total, semi-total. We won't have another one in the United States for a while. But we have some partials coming where you see this little peak of the sun hitting the moon, hitting the sun. So there's really no major ones. They said really for nothing, another total won't happen until after 2020, 2200.
I remember. I mean, I was telling him this today.
The 2017.
I remember. No, this was when I was younger. And I was school age, and I remember outside, and I remember multiple times this was happening, where all of a sudden it goes dark, and then it goes dark for a moment. And then it goes light, and I remember that stuff happening like that. I just thought it was something, but I just realized when we were talking about the eclipse, I just realized I haven't seen it in a while, but I do remember that it was happening.
Right, it's just like Halley's Comet. The next Halley's Comet, I think, is coming when we're 86 or 87. That was on the Big Bang Theory. So you're talking about these celestial events, and there's a lot of people, a lot of chatter, a lot of people are saying, this is a sign. Now, we do have some odd things that happen over the past few days. We've had the earthquake that took place in the epicenter was Lebanon, New Jersey, and it shook all the way to New York. Before that one, it hit in Taiwan. Yeah. First, and then a couple of days later, it hit in, he was saying New Jersey. Yeah. So I need to look at the plate maps, because usually things take place. One thing about the Earth, people don't realize it's a cracked egg. Just for your imagination. I think they even had one in California. They may have. Oh, maybe it was New York. New York. If it happened, depends. If Taiwan is on the Atlantic side, it's possible. Taiwan is on. If it's facing the Atlantic, it could have been on the same structure. So the Earth is just a cracked egg. I think there was 7 or 8. Ooh. 7 or 8. Yeah. So you will have some shifting that will affect other plates. 7 or 8 on the Richter scale. There's always an earthquake on the Earth. By the way, the Earth is always shaking. There's always something shaking. We just don't feel it. I remember the one that hit the Detroit area, and I felt it. And I was on the 9th floor at CTN, and I was like, that was weird. This is feels like motion. It's a weird feeling on those smaller scale earthquakes. And so that's happening. It's a pretty big deal. I believe, and I told someone this, I said it's 8 days after Resurrection Sunday / Easter. 8 days after that period. So this is very interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not a tinfoil wearing person. I don't read a lot of when I see prophecies on this, I'm like, okay, I know the National Enquirer, the Globe, the Weekly World News has pretty much become our everyday news. So I don't really need to, not to slam our brothers and sisters in the broadcasting world. However, we used to have this thing called tabloids. I'm not even sure if they still make them. They used to put all these little eclipse prophecies, but there will be one that's UFOs. When UFOs come out. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really. I don't know if people actually still do those now. I haven't seen them at certain grocery stores. Social media now. You don't even need them. They just go on social media and just make it up. Right. You just make it up. You don't even. In fact, you don't even need to have them. Just somebody going in. Hey, I saw. Right. I mean, the socials now are nothing but more. Tabloid toy boys now, because they just go in and making stuff up, causing trouble. They make it up and people fall for it. Like the whole thing what happened with Princess Kate. Yeah. Oh goodness, we don't even. And I was like, come on now, people. I was like, leave the girl alone. She had to come on. Talking about she had cancer, and everybody's like, ooh. Now I know Charles had cancer, but I didn't know she had. I know she has some stomach issues, but still, I'm like, ooh, let the girl live now. Yeah. So people. Let the girl heal. Yeah, because. That's one thing about the eclipse. I really don't know why we get into the weird side of things, like the whole end of the world. Clearly, the Bible clearly states we do not know the day nor the hour that it's going to happen. So for me, I mean, I want to experience the eclipse. So that's the reason why I'm going out to chase the eclipse.
Well, I wanted to talk about something about Let's Talk too. Not necessarily the eclipse.
We can do it in the final remarks.
We can do it in the final. I want to talk about the YSL trial.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is the final remarks.
This is final remarks. Just something quick. If anybody was following, now all this stuff is happening in Fulton County. Now there's nothing much going on again with Fonnie and all that. They're still debating all that stuff. The judge, I don't know, they're still going whatever. Everybody's going there. Now this one is with YSL Young Thug, and I was listening to the trial, and the defense attorneys were complaining because they're saying there are so many witnesses that if they try to get through it all, it's going to take about 3 to 5 years. And so they already denied bail for Young Thug. I think at that point they should give honor bail at least. But they already denied bail, and so he will still be in jail for almost 3 to 5 years just to get through the trial.
Well, he'll get time served.
So they had a lot of motions to do this. So the judge had to, the judge realized that too. It was too much. So what the prosecutor attorney, she was like, the judge asked her, well, how many more witnesses? This is just the prosecutor. Now, this is just the prosecution. How many more witnesses do you have? 150. And that's 150 more than what they already had, because now the trial is going into 53 days. And so at the time, and she had, and that's just her prosecution. This is not even the defense's trying to get their say and their witnesses in. And then the judge was like, well, how many days do you think that's going to take? And she's like, well, about 120 days. So all this is just padding the courts. It's just padding the court.
That's a third of the year.
Yeah. And that's all it is. Because if you are a jury, you're not going to remember every single word that these 150 witnesses are doing. And you pretty much really don't have much, but yet you're just padding the courts in order to either, one, the defense Young Thug would just throw in the towel and say, plead it out, or two, you're just going to wear it out until you figure out what's going on. But the judge already said, look, they said he's going to have to work the weekends now. And everybody's like, yes, this is going to happen. And he said, we're going, and any evidence, any video, any else thing, if it isn't on from that date, don't bring it in. Don't give it to me. And he also still allowed the lyric thing. Now I listened to the lyric they were talking about, and hey, whatever. And the judge, I think the judge, they still people really don't understand rap and rap music, and they just thinking it's just a bunch of hollering and stuff. I mean, right? It's just, and they don't understand it. And that's one of the. He's like, well, why would he rap about that? And the defense is like, it's understandable because I guess it was part of the lyric. He wore a chain. Everybody has chains. I mean, whatever. And he wore some type of shirt that had some saying in it. I'm assuming that's probably what it was. I never saw the video. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know all that. And then he said, I got arrested for murder. I beat the rap. I beat that. And I had to pay my lawyer $30 at that. Or something like that, he said. And the judge was like, well, why would he rap that?
It's called rap. I mean,
he rapped about it. So there's like, well, that's, and the defense is like, that's fact. We know he did this. That's just a mission. It's not a mission of guilt that he actually did the murder. But the judge was like, well, why we just have, he already had in his mind that he's going to still allow it and let the jury decide. And so he still allowed that rap part in there. So I'm like, he just said he was arrested for murder, but he beat the rap.
Wearing a chain with your group name on it is used as a thing. We know someone personally who has a major network, that's a major streaming network. We've known this person since they were a child. Everybody that's part of that network at some level, they have a necklace with the network name on it. That's no different
than if you would have had a shirt with it on.
Right. I mean, they have shirts too. So we know someone personally, and if we say the name, y'all say, "Oh yeah, we know that network." we know someone personally that their network has that they wear the chain. So what's the big deal? So you're using a chain?
I mean, all these labels have chains.
Everybody.
I mean, if somebody wore a cross on their neck, ooh.
I mean, right. So you wore a cross. Yeah, we're part of the church gang. Yeah, we believe in. Well, which cross you have? You got the one with Jesus on it, or the one with Jesus off? Well, he came off the cross, so we decided to go with the Jesus off the cross one. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So you're trying to figure out which gang you're in. Well, do you have this pin?
I mean, even the people wear the Star of David. If you watch the Mummy, he was breaking out a lot of these little chains to try.
Right, just trying to get the Mummy. Now I want to watch the Mummy.
Try to get the Mummy now too. So I mean, people wear certain, but everybody, even Usher got the little U. But does that make him a gang? No.
Right.
But anyway,
I mean, we have to really think about that. But anyway, let's go on to our final, because we are almost out of time. Wow. So we're going to go maybe
realize we were going to go this long.
We're actually let's get this on. So upcoming for us, Angie has her 3 podcasts.
I know. I was trying to explain it in the beginning, but the reverb in my ear was getting really hard. I do have 3 things. I have the Garrison House podcast. I have Inside the Pink Box. It's a women inspirational channel on YouTube, faith-based on YouTube. I have What a Crock. I do cooking reels, cooking things on that. And I had Angie's Drama Room, which is on YouTube, and I talk about Asian dramas.
And it's doing good.
Yeah, so reason why I didn't realize I didn't really think I could do it, but I had to get my editing together. And who else do I have but to teach me is the best. Now, I will say that I did have some knowledge about how things worked. So so I just had to come to him every once in a while. Just tell me what to do. She
is actually a linear editor. For those who don't, she graduated broadcasting school. That's what we both graduated the same broadcast school. I'm just maybe I think 2 years ahead of her or a year before her. So she is an editor. Now, she used to get in front of our REM 440. Those who are in broadcasting know that's when we had this little edit controller and we had 2 tape machines. This girl can cut. She can cut.
Yeah,
back.
But this is easier.
Now she's moving into the digital, and now this woman can cut things. We're using the editing platform we're using. I'm maybe 7 months of full-time use. So she's right behind me. So sometimes I'm like, I didn't know you can do that. She did something. I was like, I didn't know you can do that.
Well, I asked him a question. Well, can't I do it this way? But he gave me little tips, and I'll be like, honey. So I bring it over here, and I'm like, okay. And so I just he shows me what to do. I'm like, okay. There's 2 things I need to put on there, but I'm just waiting for him to give it.
Right now, one of the things I had to learn to retrain myself in editing is deletes. Like I came off of Adobe Premiere.
He told me not to know how.
So Premiere we could just hit delete and it's different. But when you go into Resolve, DaVinci, you hit delete, it moves everything over.
Yeah, so you always told me just backspace.
So I had to reprogram my mind for that. Mm-hmm. And then I have, let me see, I think that's this week. Our podcast, we have one that starts at 11. I don't have the details, but I will share it on my Facebook. We are launching our podcast, myself and Mike Upshaw. We are launching our new podcast. I'm not sure if it's Streaming Maniacs or one of our other ones. So people don't realize I'm a streaming professional as well. I do a lot of streaming and a lot of streaming. So we're going to go a little bit more deeper into that. So that's this Friday. I just closed my calendar. Friday, April 12th. I know we're dating this. If you're after April 12th, you just have to find us. We'll have links somewhere in there how to get it. So we're doing good on there. And the studio progress, I haven't been upstairs yet. So she's been up there working. She did some painting today.
I have great respect for professionals. Because I'm like, that painting, Well, my daughter uses it's spots of black paint, so it's not all the wall is black. And we're only painting in one white. Even doing it in white, it still has little blackness coming through. So there's spots of black. Then she has this one wall that's all black. I told my husband, "Look, this is gonna stay.
We're gonna leave it like that. Black. Fine. It can stay black."
I mean, so but where we gonna be upstairs? I told him, he's like, that's a start. So we are going to be going up to our studio soon.
Yes.
I may not be finishing all the paint. Like I said, I got some mad respect for people who paint because
we're doing
that is a professional job, and I have nothing else to say about it because I don't like doing it.
Yeah, with her doing a lot of podcasts, with me doing, getting ready to start doing not only Garrison House and having Streaming Maniacs, us being part of a podcast platform that's coming soon. We need to have a place where I can be down here doing my work. She can be doing her creatives. Because I think it was yesterday she was doing so much. I was like, I really got to get this done. So
I asked you if you need it. If you need it, I said
no. I wanted her to finish her stuff, and then I need.
And then the funny thing about it, I might still not use it. I might have to redo it.
No, I actually had her restart one. Because I'm sitting there going, okay.
I know. I was like, I'm talking too much. And this one was Angie's Drama Room. And my review of a drama I watched.
She told the whole doggone story. I don't even need to watch it. I already know what happened. I'm like,
well, I'm still trying to get my groove on this. So I'm still trying to figure out how I'm doing it. Yeah. And speaking of which, we're going to say goodnight here, but just make sure you go over to our platforms. I mean, even if you don't launch it, just go over to subscribe, like the video, and just move on.
Yes, please.
That helps with the algorithm. That helps with a lot more viewership. That's helped a lot more people to help. And if you enjoyed it, let other people enjoy it too.
Especially Angie's Drama Room, because we didn't even talk about the one topic we should have talked about: how bad American television content is, and why more and more people are switching over to foreign content, especially Korean and Chinese dramas. I can tell you, I've seen some really good. Well, I've seen better creativity in Asian sci-fi than I've seen in American sci-fi. Asian sci-fi, especially what's one of my Perfect Stranger. I love that series, and I believe that was Chinese.
Huh?
Was My Perfect Stranger Chinese?
Oh, you mean the one that went back in time?
Yeah.
No, that was Korean, but I don't think it's called My Perfect.
That other one. We haven't finished My Perfect Stranger. I haven't finished.
Yes, you did.
I did. Okay. Well, it's a couple.
It's the one that went back in time and was it with the car?
Right.
Yeah, you finished.
Okay, and then my other favorite one was Reset. Mm-hmm. Oh my! So here, something real quick before we go. I think Reset is on YouTube with the subtitles. Take a look at Reset. Now that one is Chinese. Watch Reset. Reset I'm a sci-fi guy. When I watched Reset, I was like, okay, I have to get this one. I mean, I love it.
It's a time loop. It's a time loop.
Phenomenal,
genre.
And it's because the next movie script I'm writing is in that genre, and it's good to watch something that your genre is. I'm a sci-fi genre guy. So one of our next scripts that I'm developing is sci-fi, and it's in that genre, time looping and jumping. And so I really watch the Asian versions versus the Americans because they're just better. I'm just going to say that. And I'm going to leave it at that because we can be here all night.
Body, but anyway. I said you might like 3 Body.
Oh, well, I like all kinds of.
Or Shop at 4 o'clock.
And for me, I have to be rested because it's a lot of reading. You're reading a lot. So
3 Body might be a lot more reading, but Shop for a Killer ain't really no dialogue. It's a bunch of guns, fights, and everything else. Reminds me of John Wick.
John Wick?
Reminds me of John Wick. And
no, I'll make sure when she's doing her Water Croc not to talk about John Wick.
He hurt my feelings, but that's okay.
I made it up. I bought her a Cinnabon.
Oh wow, Culver, Cinnabon, Burger King.
I just really got her a Cinnabon.
All right, people.
All right, everyone. Until next time, I'm Darnell.
I'm Angela.
And thank you for watching Garrison House.
if I can just shout, Lord, please have mercy on me.
And it's a billion affairs, got an image to maintain, public upper hand. But behind them closed doors, you on the last leg. The fast lane's a fast pace for the fast age. It's easy not to get more than
I'm waiting on you. You want to pull me through. I'm waiting on you.
There are a lot of great guys out there, and they absolutely love dancing with new girls.
Here, give her this. Tell her at least thanks for coming out. I appreciate it, all right?
All right, T.
Hello? He left a trust fund for you, and it was payable based on you graduating from dance school.
If you know something, just tell me, man. I don't want to be out here looking crazy. I would tell you if I knew something. Because it sounds like you know something, cuz.
You're what? And I'm totally scared to tell T. Well, why are you afraid to tell him? You think he'll have you killed or something?
I love my music, but I feel like being a servant is my calling too.
Okay.
So like, how do I do them both at the same time?
Oh, that man will praise the Lord.
Yeah. Seems you and my brother been spending quite a bit of time together.
Oh, he's just helping with the music.
Oh, just helping with the music.
Sir, listen, can you please tell him that Audi is here?
No one gets
Do you know any other word to say?
Yeah. You do audio?
Yeah. Bro, hold my phone.
T!
What?
What do you mean what? You've been acting weird and crazy and fidgeting and...
I want you to be my wife.
Somebody help!
I'm pregnant!
Somebody help me!
Help quick, baby!
All right, just calm down, baby. I got you. Just wait a minute. I'm calling.
Oh my
Please, somebody help!